everyone, welcome back for day 2 of our article on Little Myanmar. I'm Kat.
I'm Elsie.
And we are talking about, Little Myanmar.
小缅甸.
It's Huaxin Street, which is about 5 minutes away from Nanshijiao Station in Zhonghe in New Taipei City.
Yeah. So yesterday we talked a lot about the dishes there, right?
Yeah, we pretty much talked only about food. So Little Myanmar has lots of great food. It says that the shops or the street is lined with restaurants and tea shops. Apparently you can get mohinga.
Mohinga.
Yeah, which is like a fish noodle soup. And you can get samosas, which I really love. You can get chicken turmeric soup. And you can get Burmese-style milk tea.
对，还可以来上一杯缅甸式的奶茶.
I want to go there now.
How wonderful.
Yeah. So that's a good excuse to go to Little Myanmar. But if you want to learn a little bit more about why people are here from Myanmar, or which kind of people or what reasons they had to come to Taiwan, we're going to talk more about that today. Yeah. So let's get right into the article.
Reading.
Huaxin Street, New Taipei City's Little Myanmar. There are over 40,000 Burmese people in Zhonghe, where Myanmar Street is located. Many of them are ethnic Chinese, whose families lived in Myanmar for generations before they left. They began coming to Taiwan after the 1960s because of the terrible discrimination they suffered in Myanmar. For many years, ethnic Chinese living there were treated as unwelcome foreigners and were not allowed to practice medicine or go to university. Sometimes they were attacked or their businesses were burned down. Though many ethnic Chinese left Myanmar for their safety, they didn't forget their cultural roots. That's why every spring, Huaxin Street observes Tinjan, the Burmese New Year. During this exciting festival, people toss water at each other. It's believed that this rids them of past problems and welcomes in a prosperous new year. We are like one big family here, one restaurant owner told English for You. We help each other out and we support each other. Last year, COVID-19 stopped people from celebrating Tinjan in the street. But thanks to the strong character of the Burmese community, the festival will surely return in the years to come.
All right, so our article starts out by telling us a little bit more about the people in Myanmar Street. There are over 40,000 Burmese people in Zhonghe, where Myanmar Street is located. That's a lot of people. You think about like just one little area of Zhonghe, that's a lot.
4万耶.
Yeah.
很多.
It's quite a lot. So where Myanmar Street is located, this is our first vocabulary word, talking about the word locate or to be located somewhere. The verb locate means to find where something is, so to be located means it is found here. When we say X thing is located here, we just mean that's where it is. That's its location, which you can use as the noun. So Myanmar Street is located in Zhonghe. Here's another example. The restaurant you're looking for is located on the second floor of the shopping mall.
Be located 代表的是位于某处，所以再给同学们一个例句哦。The residence building is located too close to a factory， 代表这栋住宅跟工厂靠得太近。那 locate 这个字我们可以说是定位或是找出所在位置。So for example, the police are trying to locate the robber， 代表他们正试着找出抢匪的所在位置。那回到课文来，我们说在中和呢有超过4万名的缅甸人。那缅甸街就是在中和。
So the article says many of these Burmese people are ethnic Chinese whose families lived in Myanmar for generations before they left. So they're not actually ethnic Burmese, they're ethnic Chinese. So ethnic, when you talk about ethnic and use like a group, it means your family and your ancestors come from a certain group of people, but maybe you yourself were born and raised somewhere else. So for example, I am an ethnic Scot. My mom's side is from Scotland, but my family has been in the US for a long, long time. I cannot speak Scottish, I don't have a Scottish accent, It's just part of my family.
所以 ethnic 这个形容词呢，代表的是民族的或是种族的。那在一个国家里面呢，可能住着不同民族的人 different ethnic groups in different countries. 那像是 ethnic Chinese 我们说是华人ethnic Korean 那代表他是朝鲜人或是韩国人 ethnic Japanese 那就是日本人啦。那再来我们还看到一个字是 generation.
That's right. So if your family's been there for generations, let's learn what that means. A generation is a group of people who are all around the same age and they're usually from the same culture. For example, you could say my parents' generation is the boomer generation because there were many of them who were born after World War II ended. My parents were born in the 1950s. The generation of students here, the guys who are watching, is Gen Z. But you might have a different name for it over in Taiwan. In Gen Z, is what we call it in the US. Anyone younger than about 11 years old is Generation Alpha. That's in the US too. But generation can also talk about how many sets of parents are here. So if your family came to a country 3 generations ago, that means your great-grandparents moved there, then had your grandparents, then had your parents, then had you. That's generations. So for an example, there are 5 generations living in this house. My young daughter, me, my mother, my grandmother, and my great-grandmother. That's 5 generations.
那课文这边说到呢，他们当中有很多都是华人。那在后面我们看到一个形容词子句是 whose families lived in Myanmar for generations before they left。那 generation 这个字代表就是一代或是世代。I'm from generation Y。Yeah， 就是 Y 世代的。然后你说他们是 Z 世代的，对不对
？Yeah.
What about you?
Well, same as you. I'm Gen Y or millennial. That's another name.
千禧世代的人。
That's right. We get blamed for everything, you know. That's how it is.
所以呢，他们当中有很多都是家庭曾经居住在缅甸好几个世代的华人，然后才离开缅甸到台湾来。When did they start coming to Taiwan?
Well, the article says they began coming to Taiwan after the 1960s because of the terrible discrimination they suffered in Myanmar. That's very sad. So discrimination here is one of the key words. It means when people treat you poorly because of your race, your gender, your age, your ability, or something else that you can't control, some other thing that's just a part of your being a person. Discrimination sadly happens everywhere and for different reasons and against different people.
Discrimination 这个名词呢，代表的是歧视，那可能会有 gender discrimination 性别歧视 racial discrimination 种族歧视，或者是 age discrimination 年龄歧视。那动词歧视的动作是 discriminate。For example, it's wrong to discriminate against a person because of his or her race. 因为种族歧视一个人是错误的。那课文这边说，他们在1960年代开始来到台湾，原因是他们在缅甸遭受了严重的歧视。
All right, so we learned about, there's some discrimination that happened that caused the ethnic Chinese people from Myanmar to come to Taiwan. It says, for many years, ethnic Chinese living there were treated as unwelcome foreigners and were not allowed to practice medicine or go to university.
Wow.
So your career options were really limited.
Right. 那这边呢，我们看到2个过去式，一个是were treated, were not allowed 是另外一个，都是被动。那另外呢 welcome 这个形容词代表是受欢迎的，不过我们在字首加上 un 变成了相反字 unwelcome 代表就是不受欢迎的。那这边还看到一个动词是 practice medicine 解释为行医，所以多年来呢，居住在缅甸的华人被以不受欢迎的外国人对待，然后呢，不被允许行医或是 go to university 上大学。
So I wonder if that means that, you know, in terms of Chinese medicine, they weren't allowed to do Chinese medicine.
Maybe.
Or maybe they couldn't do any kind of medicine. But that's, you know, that's pretty not great, not good at all. The article says sometimes they were attacked or their businesses were burned down.
哇，又是2个过去被动 were attacked 被攻击 were burnt down 被烧毁，所以有些时候他们会被攻击，然后他们做的生意也可能会被烧毁。
Yeah.
Maybe their stores, their shops.
Yeah, that's terrible because, you know, you can't feel safe, you can't make a living. It's not a good way to live. So, though many ethnic Chinese left Myanmar for their safety, they didn't forget their cultural roots. So safety here is what we're talking about. It means the state of being safe. We often say for one's safety when a person needs to do something to get out of danger. Or if you do something like go to safety, walk to safety, climb to safety, it means you get out of a dangerous situation. So for an example, Kara got tossed out of the boat by a big wave, but she was able to swim to safety on the other side of the river. All right, and we've got this other word here, cultural. We're talking about their cultural roots. This word cultural, when we're talking about somebody's cultural roots, is about your culture, where you come from, what you believe, what you eat, what you think, what languages you speak, and what your values are all part of your culture. So your cultural roots are the place where your culture comes from. It's an adjective for culture. Even though these people are ethnic Chinese, culturally, that's the adverb, they are cultural Burmese. So another example might be, Diana lives in the US, but she has cultural ties to Germany, where her family is from.
我们刚刚先看到 safety 这个名词代表安全、平安，那 cultural 形容词指的是与文化有关的、文化的，所以 cultural roots 指的是文化根源。虽然呢，很多华人为了安全的问题而离开缅甸，但他们始终没有忘记他们的 cultural roots 文化根源。
Like, of course, because, you know, even if you feel unsafe in the country that you are in, you still love the parts of your culture that you grew up with. So the article says that's why every spring, Huaxin Street observes Tingjan. I think that's how you say it, Tingjan. The Burmese New Year.
OK, 那就是为什么每个春天华新街都会庆祝 Tingjan?
Tingjan.
Maybe. 也就是缅甸的新年。那这边的 observe 指的是 celebrate. 庆祝一个节日。
So it's the Burmese New Year. New Year is great. During this exciting festival, people toss water at each other.
Toss water.
Toss. So toss, as you can probably tell, means to throw. It's just another word for throw. Often it can mean to throw something light or something small, but it doesn't have to. For example, in Scotland, they do caber tossing. This means tossing an entire tree trunk to see how far it goes. It's a very manly sport. Very, very interesting to watch. So an example sentence for toss might be the children started tossing snowballs at each other when they went outside to play.
Toss 这个动作呢是扔、掷或是抛。那在这个令人兴奋的节日当中呢，就是缅甸的新年，人们会互相泼水 toss water at each other。注意哦，我们的介系词用的是 at， 对某个人丢东西。
Now, why do they do this? The article says it's believed that this rids them of past problems and welcomes in a prosperous new year.
OK,
Makes sense to me. Give yourself a bath.
Yes.
Yeah.
那这边有个英文练功房的句型，我们来看一下吧。今天的英文练功房呢，要说到的是 it is said, it is believed, 或者是 it is reported that 的句型。那这样的句型呢，是用来表示据说、据信、据报道的意思。那其中的 it 是个虚主词 ，that 所引导出来的名词子句才是真正的主词哦。For example, it is reported that the popular politician is thinking about running for president. 代表据报道，受欢迎的政治人物正在考虑要不要参选总统。那另外呢，我们也可以将本句型改写为不定词的结构，也就是主词出来之后，后面用 be said, be believed, or be reported, 再加 to 以及一个原形动词。所以刚刚那一句呢，我们也可以改成 the popular politician is reported to be thinking about running for president. 那再来第三个重点是如果 that 子句的时态是过去式或者是完成式的时候，不定词必须要改成 to have 加上过去分词。So for example, it is reported that over 100,000 people attended the event. Though the exact number is unknown. 这句话说的是据报道有超过10万人参加活动，虽然确切数字还是未知。那因为里面用到的是过去式 attended， 所以改成另外一个写法的时候，我们要说 over 100,000 people are reported to have attended the event, though the exact number is unknown. 课文这边呢还用到一个片语是 rid A of B， 使 A 摆脱 B。那例句 我们可以说 The city mayor wants to rid the city of crime， 代表市长想将这一座城市的犯罪去除掉。那再来呢，我们看到一个形容词是 prosperous， 代表的是繁荣的、富裕的。所以课文说到的是巨信互相泼水，可以让他们摆脱过去的问题，并迎接繁荣富裕的一年。哇
So, yeah, they do some, different things during New Year. Toss water at each other.
So it's good to do that.
Yeah, apparently I hope that it's warm enough. I hope that it doesn't make you feel really, really cold. But anyway, the article says it has a quote from somebody who lives at Washington Street. We are like one big family here. One restaurant owner told English4U, we help each other out and we support each other.
Okay.So this is the owner speaking, huh?
That is, it's a shop owner, a person who owns something, usually a place of business, pet, an object, anything, a car maybe. That person has property, so they're an owner of a thing. So for a shop, you can also call somebody a proprietor. That's a fancier name for an owner, especially if they both own and run the shop. So for an example sentence, we found a lost dog, but the tag on his neck helped us get it back to its owner.Owner
指的就是所有者、拥有者或是业主。那动词形式是 own, O-W-N 代表拥有，所以我们也可以说 the person owns the restaurant, so the person is a restaurant owner. 那这边呢，一名餐厅业主告诉 English4U 说我们在这边就像是一个大家庭，我们帮助并支持彼此。How nice.
Very nice.So the article says last year COVID-19 stopped people from celebrating Tingjan in the street.
去年因为 COVID-19 人们没有办法在街上庆祝他们的新年。
Aren't you tired of hearing about COVID-19? Me too, but it's the reality we live in.
Yeah.
We gotta face it. Anyway, the article says, but thanks to the strong character of the Burmese community, the festival will surely return in the years to come.So thanks to, this means because of, but kind of in a more positive way. You're saying that you're thanking this circumstance, like you're thinking that they are very strong in character.
Thanks to 这个片语呢，代表多亏、幸亏或是归功于某个人或某件事。那 to 这边是个介系词哦，注意，所以后面呢只能加上名词或是 VING. So for example, thanks to you, I finished my work on time.
Thanks to me.
多亏了你，我可以准时完成工作。那课文最后说到，幸亏有这群缅甸人坚毅的性格，这个节庆在未来一定会恢复。
Definitely. I mean, everything that's happened over the last year, it's only temporary.Things will change for the better very soon. All right, so that's all we have about Little Myanmar. We hope you've enjoyed learning about this interesting and great community in Taipei, or New Taipei City. So let's go on to our For You chat.
For You chat.
All right, so our For You chat question today. What are some different reasons people move to other countries? What do you think?Maybe
they need to work abroad, or they want to live abroad.
Yeah, go to school abroad.
Yeah, they study abroad.
Yeah, or maybe they get married and they, go to their spouse's country, something like that.
So what about you? Yeah.
I moved to Taiwan for work as a teacher originally, but now I'm doing this. And also kind of for adventure. Like I wanted to live someplace new. I also had a relationship with a Taiwanese girl at the time, but she and I aren't together anymore. But I have a different relationship with a different Taiwanese girl now. Yeah, so I have, a lot of things in Taiwan and I consider it my second home.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you will still stay here?
Yeah, of course.
For?
I don't know.
You don't know. Maybe for...
a long time.
For the rest of your life.
Who knows? So we will see what the future brings. For now, that's all we've got. We hope you go visit Little Myanmar.
Yeah.
And check it out. Enjoy some great food and great culture. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review. Located. Taipei 101 is located in the east area of the city, where there are also many other modern buildings. Generation. Some of the younger generation wonder how older people lived without cell phones. Safety. Children hold their parents' hands for safety when they cross the road. Cultural. The two countries share a cultural history that connects their beliefs and traditions. Toss. The cook tossed a fish into the pan and fried it for a few minutes. Owner. The business owner told her employees that she hoped they could make more money next year.
智慧小补帖
Ethnic. Discrimination. Prosperous.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net